What's going on, traders? What's going on? The 31st of December, the last day of 2023. We're taking a look this morning at Casper/Tether daily chart. Gate.io will be the provider here, and we are on tradingview.com. Welcome to the channel, everybody, all of the new and all of the current subscribers. We are going to talk about a couple price targets here, my reasoning behind them, and maybe a little bit into 2024, which will be tonight, tomorrow, midnight. We're on the East Coast. It is 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast on Sunday morning, the 31st of December. So we have a couple price targets to talk about here on Casper. As the trend here continues to the upside, we're at a critical moment. We have been at a critical moment, and it keeps steaming ahead. Maybe this will be the time that it breaks into the upper box range that we will also mention here. So guys, let's dive right into it. Welcome once again. So we have Casper making another higher high yesterday. What a beautiful sight to see for the Casper investors, Casper holders. Right here, yesterday was the 30th of December. We have another higher high. So let's real quick highlight this before we jump into price targets. Right here, we have a pretty major low. We have a higher high that took place. Looks like that was the 5th of December. We have also another higher low right here, which was the 18th of December. And yesterday, we have another higher high. So what is the trend? Well, the trend is higher. Higher lows and higher highs gives us a confirmation of an uptrend. So that is what we have. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So if the trend continues, what will come next? Well, at some point, we'll get another higher low. So maybe this pullback is brief, higher low, and into another higher high. So we have a confirmed change in trend to the upside. Pullback came in perfectly. Old resistance right into support. Very nice to see. Very nice technical stuff to see here on the chart. So we have a couple price targets we'll talk about on the chart. They are nothing crazy. We actually just hit one yesterday, and we have a couple more above the market. We'll talk about them. So the first target that we hit actually yesterday is at the 5265 level. So that's 0.05265. That's just the first yellow dotted line right here. And what I mean by hit that is we traded up to it and we reversed back underneath of it. Very nice solid hit, just as it should play out. It did. You could see on yesterday's candle, big wick up into yesterday's high was 5690, and then we actually closed. Let's see, we had a close yesterday of 5135. So we hit that target, pulled back, just as it should, and we'll see what happens today. So far today, we have a lower high than yesterday, so we'll see what happens. If this pullback is just brief, is it just a couple hours, or is it something longer? So to get back up to the 5265 level from where we're currently trading, it's about a 5.5% move higher. Nothing crazy right now. Casper's down 2.63. So that it would be target number one hit perfectly. I didn't run these calculations before yesterday, but it wouldn't have changed the targets. And yeah. So target number two up there would be 5868. 5868 if I'm correct. And that would be this yellow line right here on the chart. We got very close to hitting that yesterday, but we did not. So there's a good chance that will be hit here in the future, assuming trends continue higher. That would put the price up 17. You could call it like 17 and a half, 18% from where we are currently trading. We're trading at 4.9, and that target up there is at 5.886. So a 17 to 18% move higher. And that is right here, guys. Puts us a little bit above yesterday's candle wick high, and that it would be right here. So this thing is in a nice uptrend, guys. We're in a nice zigzagging pattern higher here. So like I said, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. We are stair stepping to the upside, and we're hitting targets perfectly, which is very nice to see. So we talked about the 5.2 target and the 5.8 target. We have two more targets to talk about. Let me know what your price target is for Casper. So, you know, I have shorter term targets, and then I have much longer term, much higher targets. You know, the market's all about time and price, the ebb and flow. So we're just talking about lower, shorter term price targets right now. You know, and it depends on a lot of things. It depends on what Bitcoin's doing and the rest of the markets, etc. Not everything runs at the same time. Some things run as others pull back, vice versa. We're not talking about multi-digit, you know, 2, 3, 4, whatever the case may be, price targets. We're talking about more of a short-term price targets, but the percentage returns are huge. Like I said, you know, 5.5%, nothing crazy. But when you start to talk about a 17 to 18% move, and then our next target we're going to talk about, guys, from where we are currently trading at, would be a, let's see. So the next target above the market is a 6636. So from where we're currently trading at this morning here, about 613, that's a 32% move higher from where we're currently trading. And that would put the price right here, guys. That's this target right up here. Now, this is based on a much longer period of time. So we'll see, you know, if trends continue higher, no reason why we won't be up to this price level once again, 6636. That puts the price up, like I said, about 32, 33% roughly. And when my targets are hit here, you know, sometimes markets blow by targets, you know, that's the way it is. Usually they'll pull back. When my targets are hit like it was yesterday, I usually expect a reaction. So prices get up to, let's call it the 6636. If it trades through it just like it did yesterday, I expect it to pull back, you know, underneath of it for a period of time. Now that period of time is a tough call. Sometimes it's a couple hours. Sometimes that's the top for a long time. But I do expect a reaction. So let's talk about target number 4. And the same goes for the downside. I don't have any listed on this chart, but if I had price targets to the downside, you know, if we're looking for lower prices and I had price targets down here, as price gets to that level, you know, say it trades through it, I would expect a reaction back above it for a period of time and then continue lower. Or sometimes it'll trade back up to it and it'll be resistance and then trade lower. The point is, I expect a reaction before continuing on. So let's talk about target number 4 before we ramble on here. Target number 4 up there at 8114. So that's 8114. Right up in here, guys. So that would be right up here, this dotted yellow line, 8114. Now that really starts to put the price back up into this old area of was support flipped into resistance. We had resistance number 1, resistance, you know, a couple times here. And you can see where we're at now. We're trying to breach back into this zone. So 1, having targets, 2, seeing a candle wick like that, all very normal action. So if the price didn't struggle through here, I would be very surprised. But the slight pause, pretty normal to see. And we'll see if this thing can continue up. It's tried, you know, Let's try it once. Let's try it a couple times through here. Try it over here, and just recently yesterday. So we'll see if we can get up to these upper price targets. 81.14 right up here gets us into some very nice new highs, puts the price up from where we're currently trading at this morning. You could call it like a 61% move higher, guys, from where we're currently trading at. So I haven't checked over the weekend, but the S&Ps probably closed up, was it 8 or 9% for the year, or was it more like 12? I think it was 12, and then the NASDAQ was up roughly like in the 20s or so. So if you look at it that way, if you get a 30 to 60% return here on a trade, it's very, very good. I mean, you're going to outperform, the markets on most years. So, is Casper going to go from 5 cents to, $5? Maybe, but probably over a very long period of time. But you don't need those massive, massive returns to do very well in the market. If you can compound, 20 to 13% returns, every year, and then hit a home run once in a while and get a, 100 or a couple 100% return, you do very well. So that's my targets, guys, for the short term. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on Bitcoin. It's still in that critical zone we talked about. It's not making new highs yet. It's also not crashing. It's kind of just very quiet. It did show some strength the past 2 days, so it's very nice to see. Once again, 52.65, 58.68, 66.36, 81.14 are my 4 price targets for the short term, and we already hit number 1, which is 52.65. So from where the current price is, we'll give you some rough percentage returns here. So first target would be like a 5 or so, 5.5% return. That gets you to the 52.65, back up to that anyways. Target number 2, 58.68, puts the price up like 17 or so percent from where we're at now, 17.5%. Once again, 58.68. Target number 3 would be 66.36 from where we're currently trading at now, is like a 33% return. Target number 4 up there at 81.14 from where we're currently trading at, like I said, is about a 61% return. 60%, guys. It's huge. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. That is my thoughts on Casper. It's still in an uptrend. It looks good, but keep in mind, we are in a very important area here. 1, we already hit a target, so a pullback is very normal. 2, we're dealing with a ton of overhead supply. So if the price struggles here, it's very normal to see. We have a ton of overhead supply here, guys. At some point we'll break up back into this and hold, and maybe it's now, but to see a reaction like we're seeing right now is very normal. So that's my thoughts on Casper. We'll be back. Tried to get a video out yesterday. Didn't happen, but hey, we're here today. So you guys have a happy new year if I don't catch you in another video, and I'll see you next year.